Ini untuk kita bersama-sama dengan tetamu kita dari SalamWeb Technologies Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Kita bawakan Puan Hasni Zarina Muhammad Khan. Assalamualaikum. A very good morning. Welcome to Bernama Radio, ma'am.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for having us, SalamWeb. Yeah.
Okay. We would like to know more about SalamWeb for the benefit of our listeners.
Okay, simply put, SalamWeb is Internet for Muslim.
Internet for Muslims.
Simply put, yeah. So, but again, if you want to make it a bit clearer, it's the application that you need. If you want to go onto internet, that's your browser.
All right.
Yeah. So these are in the likes of perhaps you're familiar with Chrome or you're familiar with Safari if you're using iOS. Yeah. But what it is here is that this browser, it is embedded with filters. So these filters will help you to filter the unwanted or the
Content.
noise. Yes, the noise that you have on the internet.
Yes.
So that is basically what SalamWeb does.
Okay. So I've been looking around at salamweb.com. Is it the one?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. You, me, Ummah. And there is also Salam Sadaqah, Salam Protect. What is it about?
Okay, that's a very good question, because if you go around the internet, usually you will do whatever you want to do. You browse, you search, you Google and things like that. But again, the beauty about if you were to do it with SalamWeb, whatever transactions that you do online will then eventually be contributed to some form of value where SalamWeb will give that in the form of sadaqah. So if you click at sadaqah, Salam Sadaqah, you will see the projects that we pledge on.
Okay.
These are generally the infrastructure projects like building bridges, building solar system, or mosques, So in fact, you are browsing or you are using the internet, and you are also helping the charity by contributing to this Salam Sadaqah fund.
So it's like a double kind of thing where you don't just browse on the net looking for the things that you want to be looking at, that you're searching for, but at the same time, inadvertently, you're actually doing your bit as a Muslim by sadaqah.
Yes, effortlessly.
Effortlessly.
And I think it is about when you go browsing, you get some incentive, and that incentive will be contributed back to the people.
Yep. When you browse, the activities that you have done on whatever browsing or tagging, because there's another part which we can talk about, which is Salam Protect. As I told you about, this Salam browser is equipped with these filters. So why do you need these filters? Basically, for anyone, not just Muslim, but because we are targeting basically Muslims, but you do not want to see any of these unwanted inappropriate items on the net, because internet can be good, internet can be also toxic.
Yes, of course.
So this filter will help you to give you the essence, meaning the good things that you want to see, and sift out the bad ones. So, and because internet is moving very fast, a lot of things are put up on there. So there's also this possibility of you, say, finding things that may not be appropriate for you, and you can tag that as inappropriate.
Okay.
Yes, so that's where the Salam Protect, which comes in with Salam Tag. If you look at that, that's the logo where you can tag. Yeah. So if it's green, meaning that it's a good site.
Okay.
And if it's yellow or red, meaning that it may have some harmful content that you may want to be cautious about.
Okay. All right. So that's an alert.
Yes, that's
but what makes it different? Because again, like if you look at any other browsers out there, you would have this special button or icon where you could actually report should you find something which is inappropriate for the public's viewing. For example, whatever it is that's happened within the past week or so, there was a lot of things that's happened where it is not appropriate. The content online was not really appropriate for anybody's viewing, for that matter. And all these other browsers or websites, for that matter, they would have this functionality where you can just press the report button and says that it is inappropriate. So how does SalamWeb differentiate itself from the other browsers out there?
Okay, one of the other things is the basic principles itself.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we are based on Sharia principle, meaning that it's a very structured way of conduct. Because as you know, Islam has all that principles.
yeah.
So we have our advisors, which is the Amani advisors, who's advising us on the parameters. So if you talk about the difference to the user, one thing is that you can see that when you go to SalamWeb, certain applications are totally not, certain information are not made visible, or they are like again, like some form of warning to the user.
All right.
Okay, so these are in the likes of gambling, pornography. Say you type Las Vegas, you probably find a lot of things in other browsers.
Yes.
But if you do for us, yes, you need to know what Las Vegas is all about, what gambling is all about. You need to know, but you may not want to, or you don't want to be playing or gambling online.
Yes.
So these are some form of indication, the difference. And like I mentioned just now, if you go to any of the browsers, you do your usual things,
Yes.
you will not contribute to this part of sadaqah. Again,
all right.
I mean, you do the same thing from any other browsers.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you do it with SalamWeb, in a way, you are contributing back to this community or to this project or infrastructure that we have pledged on. So it's about community again here.
All right, lovely. You did mention again that SalamWeb is actually the first ever Sharia certified web browser and digital ecosystem for Muslims around the world to discover and to connect and to contribute in a free and safe online environment. This is actually picked up directly from an article that you were giving out before.
Yes.
How is it that a web browser is Sharia certified? How do you actually classify that? Because again,
it is not a food then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've heard about Sharia compliant services. I've heard about Sharia compliant dressing and everything, but Sharia compliant web browser, how do you get about that? How do you actually certify a web browser?
Yes. Well, when you say it's either Sharia or it's halal in a way, yeah. Okay. Usually when we talk about halal, we refer to certain sectors. Halal, meaning what you also consume, like food, cosmetics, the ingredients of it, and livestock. These are generally the four main sectors, and the value chain that supports it, like the logistics. Yeah, these are halal, but because this is also something that you consume, think about it. You look at your internet, you are consuming information.
Yes, very much so.
Isn't it? So you want it to be in line with you as a Muslim. If you go out there in your physical world, you do not see pornographics. You do not go and gamble.
I hope,
right?
I hope we don't.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the dream.
To have this consistent way of life,
All right.
when you go to internet, which you spend like I think more than 8 hours a day. So
I think
why
more than
not?
that then.
Yes, isn't
For
it?
Amma at least, yeah.
Exactly. So in your 24 hours a day, perhaps you spend more on internet. So why not having this similar thinking, similar process?
It's about what you feed to your mind. It's whatever you feed to your soul.
Exactly.
And it in turn would teach you that kind of a lifestyle where it protects you and it hones you into the correct way, the halal way, the Sharia way, so that you are not deterred into crossing that fine line that you have.
But then we still have like parental controls on every browser that we have. On every website we can set the parental control. There is some extension to it and other similar program. But how does it plan to match with the competing browsers? We have a lot.
Yeah, true. But again, if you look at the whole browser, this is almost like your companion. Why I say that? Not just it gives you that window to the internet, the way you want to see the Muslim way, but you also have the tools. These are in the likes of the Salat times, the Qiblat, and there are many other things that will put in on board, inshallah, very soon.
All
yeah.
right.
So these are some additional things in terms of the content itself. We also have news, and we have Salam Chat example. So there are other things, and these applications or these features are also using the same type of platform, which is it's Sharia, meaning, say, if you use the chat application, you can use it without thinking like, oh, what if somebody were to swear on it? No, you cannot see that swearing because it will be filtered too.
It'll be filtered.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a complete solution for any Muslim.
Okay, cool. Now let's jump to the digital economy side. Okay, because right now I think our listeners would have basically understand what SalamWeb is all about. So I would like to ask you, Afwan, can you explain a bit on how SalamWeb can actually contribute to the development of the Islamic digital economy moving forward? Because as far as I understand it, that SalamWeb has been around only a few months, since January 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right.
All right. So what is the major plan rollout for SalamWeb?
Okay, you're right. We just launched it on 17th January this year. And Alhamdulillah, we've gained a lot of attraction from the users, a lot of interest. Yeah. So if you talk about Islamic digital economy, that's a huge space. It's about the economy itself, and because we are in fact talking about Industrial Revolution
4.0, yeah.
4.0, you cannot run away from having to use technology. It's just no more an enabler, but it has become part of the way how you should conduct business. So we believe that in order to make things smoother, whether it comes from communication, you talk about data privacy, you talk about all these issues, SalamWeb is here to provide you with that sort of platform too. So that any parties, any business, because it's a platform. So we're talking about providing this platform for the entire economy.
Okay. And in your own opinion, ma'am, how is it important to be certified as a Sharia in our growing of user base?
Okay, the other aspects why you need to be Sharia, because if you just mention that it's okay, you can't say that it's halal per se, because it's not food.
It's all about to yourself, user.
Yes, but because it is Sharia, we have advisors out there to provide us with the right parameters. So it's not about what I feel or what someone else feel. It's about going through a proper guidelines and proper parameters conducted and advised by our advisors. So again, that is the basis of the having us to have this Sharia parameters.
Okay. This is a question that I've been waiting to ask earlier, but I want to know the inspiration of you creating a halal web browser catered for Muslims, because we have a lot of like Islamic page if it is for Muslims, but why you want to create this, and what are the inspiration? Is it because we have a lot of unhealthy content on the web, or how?
Yeah, we have 1.8 billion Muslims out there.
We are the largest, though.
Yes, largest, fastest growing religion too. And there is
regardless
a need.
the hatred.
Yes, regardless that, and there is a need, and I think all of us should do our part. And when you talk about this, well, the bigger picture is talking about having an ethical browsing. So if you talk about ethical browsing, the values are universal. By right, the values, whatever we put, are universal. It's not just for Muslim, it's for everybody. But we use our Sharia principle because of the structured part. It's available, that as reference.
All right, because reason being is that it is not something that you just like, you kind of wake up in the morning and say that I want to have a new browser that is dedicated for all Muslims and everything. Because again, I believe from your side point as well, like there's a lot of heart and soul and sweat and tears as well being put into developing this. And again, if I'm not mistaken as well, taken from an article, that this particular web browser, your company and together with your partners and everything, you guys have invested in more than about 15 million USD. And that's not a small amount. I mean, we're talking about something which is very substantial and very big in regards of creating something which is basically, again, pardon me saying this, it's basically the same as any other things with some perks on it. So, I mean, again, as what Amma has mentioned, yes, that's the idea of why you've actually made this for the public and everything. But what is the return or the expectations that me as a user specifically, because I'm a fan of Chrome, to be honest. I've always used Chrome. Granted, it's a very hungry RAM eating web browser and everything. So, but why should I change to SalamWeb in my daily usage?
Yeah.
Apart from, I mean, does it make me a better Muslim in the end?
Okay, yeah, you should try it then. Because
Okay.
if you talk about technically, if you love Chrome, yes, SalamWeb is it's built on the same platform of open source, which is Chromium. Chrome is also built on Chromium.
Yes.
So if you talk about that, if you talk about performance, SalamWeb has it too.
Yeah.
But what it has additional, like I mentioned to you about the other features,
Okay.
and we are talking about ecosystem here. Yeah, the first one being the browser, but there are other products, inshallah, coming. It will be launching, inshallah, by next month. More towards lifestyle. As you know, the other thing that is more popular and in the current trend is really talking about Islamic lifestyle, where you talk about where to get your halal food, what kind of fashion, so a lot of other things. So it is again about community sharing too.
Okay.
All right.
How long does it take for R&D before you have this system up online?
Up and running, yeah.
Well, it's about a few months before we start with the
Okay.
company. We've set up the company in Malaysia late November 2017.
Alright.
Yes, and we started working on it. But when we started, it was not really from scratch, because if you've noticed, the Salam browser was launched of the first version, that was a plain version, way back in 2016.
Okay.
So what we did was, when we took over the project, we enhanced it. We provided it with more features, like things like you have news, and news are not just from one source. There are more than 40 sources of news from all over the world. So it is like your main window to see all sorts of things, and these news are also filtered the way how you know we want to see it.
How about the financial spending? I mean, some allocation of fund that which is you have been putting aside for this program. That, from what I read, is about like a lot of millions.
Yeah, we have in terms of allocation, of course, we need the R&D, and for R&D, we are also working with the universities, with public universities. We've signed an MOU with last 2 weeks, which we will put 250,000 for them to help to build their R&D. That is mainly to look at the areas of AI and some form of data analysis.
Some coding happen, like
Yes.
some you have to do some
to enhance. And on top of that, of course, there are funds. We need funds for marketing. We need funds to develop more of our content. So that's why we need funds. And this is not like you cannot do it overnight.
All right,
So
lovely.
that's
All right, so let us jump into the user base. I mean, again, granted, of course, when you hear about SalamWeb, when you know what SalamWeb is all about, it is mostly, or should I say majority, targeted for the Muslims and everything. So what is the current user base of SalamWeb that you have at the moment? Maybe you can share with us, and perhaps which country is which has the most
highest
users?
user?
Yeah, the highest user. Is it Malaysia, or could it be somewhere else?
Okay. Yes, of course, we have more than 100,000 downloads. I cannot remember what's the number now, because we've just launched about 2 months
About a couple of months ago. Yep.
Yes, okay. And it's a surprise that although the initial plan was to launch it for Malaysia and also to suit the Indonesian market, but we received many positive responses from
other countries,
other parts of the
Other
world.
parts of the world.
So
All
you
right.
talk about Uzbekistan, Egypt, Morocco, Bangladesh, Pakistan. These are the countries which I think they see the potential in this, and they
spread
just,
it.
Yes, because of the interviews that we
Okay.
had and the coverage that we did,
Mhm.
and many of them found out about this, and they want to even to have more contents that suits to their local
Mhm.
Local needs,
yes,
right?
that's
But-
Because,
and-
because yeah.
And the highest download still Malaysia or?
as for now, it's still Malaysia,
Oh,
because we
Malaysia.
are Malaysia based.
All
yeah.
right, okay. So we're 100% Malaysia, right? We're
Mhm.
talking about SalamWeb,
We are 100% owned by
owned by
SalamWeb Technologies Dubai,
Dubai.
but
Okay.
Malaysia is our main
Okay.
platform. It's
Main
our
platform.
main office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yes. When you look at that, yes, you did mention earlier before that, there's about 1.8 billion Muslims who lives on this God's earth and everything. So, and what is your target moving forward? Is there a specific number that you plan to achieve by the end of the year? Is there a magic quota that everybody's gunning for by the end of the year? And if so, how do you plan to achieve that in regards of getting the number of users by the end of the year, for instance?
Okay, definitely we want to have the users. We're looking at 10% of the population, and if they have internet penetration at 50%, so at least 50% of that
All
that
right.
number. Yeah.
10% or 50%. So you're talking
Yeah.
about 50% of 180 million. So yeah, 70 million.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 50% of that, meaning
Okay.
it's about 900 million or 1 billion
One-
billion almost.
All right, okay.
Yeah, okay. But when you look at that numbers, it's not something that we can achieve overnight.
Mhm.
But Alhamdulillah, with this information spreading to the whole world,
Mhm.
and with the contents that we have, people are giving feedback. And
Okay.
we are also adding more services to it,
Mhm.
more input, more information,
Mhm.
and we feel that we would be able to achieve certain numbers by
Okay.
end of the year. I'm not able to reveal it right now,
Okay.
but inshallah we have plans,
Mhm.
and with our next products running in
Okay.
the pipeline,
So,
that should be able to.
Puan, which we can tell that there is a lot of download happen right now, and with that numbers, how much can you generate in sadaqah for the people? I mean, how much can you contribute back?
Okay.
Is there an algorithm or a
Yep,
system behind it?
that depends very much on the Sadaqah project that we pledge on.
Mm.
So,
Ah.
example, it's a project that we pledge, say it's for 10,000 ringgit. So depends on the usage, the
Okay.
application.
All
If
right.
they achieve, say, 80% of that with how many transactions that we've already allocated, then we'll pay that amount, meaning
Okay.
80% of that 10,000 that we're supposed to create that funds for.
Okay.
So there's some
Mm.
algorithm
Yeah.
behind it, but it's a bit technical.
We have a
Oh.
comment from a friend that watching right now. Zul Hamza said, "Finally, this is indeed the web browser that I have been looking for. Really like the function of Salam Sadaqah."
Alhamdulillah.
That's actually a very
Yes.
good positive
Yeah.
review from one of your
Yes.
users and everything. So
Thank you.
that definitely must not be the only positive review that you have received. Obviously, I mean, with 2 months being in
Yeah.
operations,
We have a
what
lot
other-
actually. We
yeah,
have a lot.
We do
Yeah.
have a lot. So
we have
maybe
from Zaki Zainal, so
Mhm.
amazing and very interesting, sangat mudah. Mehboob Subhahani, try it, very good app for easy browsing experience.
Mm.
Abdullah said it is good website, safe for family. And Hassan Mahmoud, I think they are not Malaysians. It is very smart and easy and fast. Mamunur Rashid, excellent web browser one, which
Mm.
is wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Alhamdulillah.
that's something to be really proud of, because
Yeah.
like for people to actually compare this, with the likes of the giants from
True.
Yes.
like when we talk about Firefox or Safari, or
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like Chrome, for instance, the number states that the number of users, the percentage is about 56% of the world's population.
Mhm.
56% of the users are actually using Chrome and everything. So
Yeah.
for SalamWeb to actually get this kind of recognition, but again, granted, it's very much in the early stages.
Yes.
You must be very proud of what SalamWeb has achieved right now and what it's going to achieve
move.
soon.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, the whole team are working hard towards it. Alhamdulillah, and we're so happy to get these positive comments and feedback from everyone. So that keeps us moving, and and to put more things to give back to our users.
Yeah. Okay,
all right.
that's a good one,
So
though.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, again, just to throw a spanner in the
Mm.
works and everything. I mean, like, granted, SalamWeb has actually been doing quite well, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
But of course, there's definitely some things that you want to better yourselves in regards of the operating system, in regards of the algorithm behind it and everything. So, what are the things that you might want to address moving forward? What are the comments that have actually said that, okay, SalamWeb, you need to do this. So what are the things that you might want to improve moving forward? Granted, it's only been a couple of months.
Yep. Okay. If you look from the content perspective, we have to develop a lot more of the localization because then we realize that our users are just not from Malaysia.
Yeah. So the
So-
language barrier.
Yes, we have it in multiple languages when you talk about interface, but of course English is also available and Bahasa. But if you go at interface, we have it in Urdu, in Bangladesh,
Yeah, I've
okay,
seen
in
that actually.
Arabic, in in many other languages. So that's one of the reasons I think it's also well received. But that's the interface. But when we talk about content itself, news that we provide, yes, it's all international, but we need to add on a bit more local news to that particular place. Example, if it's Uzbekistan, maybe not just the national news, they want to also know about the local news, but using this SalamWeb as the window to
Alright.
see. So these are some of the things which we are addressing as we go along on top of our other services that
Okay.
we will.
Hashtag local
Okay.
content.
Puan,
Yes.
Yusuf Omar is asking a question. Assalamualaikum, Puan. Does it can download from any other app store from apps in future? Do you have a plan to build email, chat platform, and a navigation system more Islamic that which is can show masjid and surau and halal food center?
Yes, inshallah, Amar. Okay, basically, this is an ecosystem that we're building. As I mentioned, SalamWeb is the main browser, the first
Yeah.
one.
Still
But-
developing.
Yes, but
Yeah.
we have, and in fact, when you talk about chat, currently Salam Chat
Yeah.
is in it already. That comes with filters. So as you download your browser, you have your Salam Chat and Salam News built in. Inshallah, we will have a separate application for Salam News also, and maybe we will have other applications like Salam Chat on its own, Salam Email, and many other applications that is needed in this entire digital ecosystem.
It can only work when you click on it.
It works as okay. For Salam Chat, if you need to contribute, you need to register. But otherwise, you will see what's the chat around you. It is based on your distance within 1 kilometer. So say everyone here in this building have downloaded SalamWeb. Then if say
Detectable.
say Amar, you probably left something at the lounge, and you say that, can anyone did anyone see I left something there? So you can just broadcast without having to know everybody's phone number,
Okay.
because they are all located in this localization.
Yeah,
Because
in that ecosystem.
yes, in that same
Same
localization.
localization.
So it's like 1 kilometer radius. This is like in this
Yeah.
specific
Alright.
area, and for those who have it, they will be
It's
able
available
to
on Google Play Store and App Store as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
also on your PC,
On
on
desktop as
Windows
well.
desktop, and even on your Mac.
On your Mac,
So
yeah,
we
on
are
the
available on
Mac
4
OS.
platforms.
All right,
Okay.
lovely. All right, so let's jump into one of the reasons why we actually brought you down here, Puan, is actually to also speak to you, SalamWeb specifically, with your participation in MIHAS 2019, which is happening on the 3rd till the 6th of April down at MyTech KL. So this is your first time participating in MIHAS, right?
For SalamWeb,
For
yes,
SalamWeb,
of
yes.
course. Yeah.
What's your angle? Why do you actually want to enter this particular platform in regards to MIHAS and everything? How does that benefit you, and how does that benefit the users from you participating in this from SalamWeb?
Yeah, okay. Of course, MIHAS is the prime platform for showcasing any of the halal related products. I think in Malaysia, if you talk about the main prime platform, it has to be MIHAS. And for SalamWeb, this is a good avenue for us to create awareness to public, to business, to everyone, because we're talking, or we're targeting the same type of users or customers.
Mhm.
So it is a very good platform for us to do that. And we are going to achieve that by having our our booth, obviously, so
Okay.
people can then see and experience it themselves. And we will also provide Salam Chat, like event updates through Salam Chat. So if you attend Mihas and you have your SalamWeb downloaded,
Mhm.
you will get some updates on your Salam Chat to know what's happening there. Say they
What's
have
going on?
yes,
what the current
industry
things are
zone
happening.
here. What is the
Mm.
topic that people are discussing about?
Can I personalize my own surfing?
Yes, that's a very good question,
Mm.
because SalamWeb itself is your personalized browser.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
why I say that? Because your the way how you tag and untag,
Character of surfing.
you decide what you
Okay.
want to see or what you don't want to see, up to your tolerance level.
Okay,
Example, you think that your Sharia compliant is really, really high. You don't want to see men playing football in shorts, example. And we have sports channel there because that's the context. It's sports. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
in the guidelines,
Okay.
it's allowed. Yeah.
Mhm.
But because you don't want to see that,
Okay.
then you want to put it as inappropriate, so you will not be able to see that once you go again. So it's up to you
Okay.
to see what you want, how small or how big the shutter is
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Up to your own tolerance then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why Ahmed's mentioned. I mean, again, it doesn't take a genius to understand how to use this web browser,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like it's
Yes.
it's as simple as
it's user-friendly.
It's user friendly.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Right.
Halal and Mihas, you can't break that away. So
Yes.
you are participating in Mihas soon?
Yes, inshallah, we are participating in Mihas.
Is it the first time?
This is the first time for
Okay.
Salam because
Yeah.
we've just launched, but we feel that this is a very good platform. We will have our booth there, and also some talks in the industry zone
Okay.
part.
So the objective of joining in.
One is, of course, to create awareness,
Okay.
and eventually awareness will also lead to
Yeah.
downloads and usage and
And-
engagement, and that's what we want. We want to
Yeah.
create a community of people with common thoughts.
Mihas will be joined by a lot of other people from all over the world.
Yeah, not just
Yes.
Malaysia, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is an international
It is
True
an
fair.
enough.
international
True
platform, yes.
And you said it just now that you SalamWeb and Mihas do share the same profile in regards of the customer base that you're looking for. Can you be a bit more specifics? Who are your target markets and their age group, perhaps?
Okay, if
Demographic-wise?
you look at, there are generally Muslims, or if you want general, anybody can use it. But we are focusing on these Muslims between, say, 18 to 45. And they are people who really use a lot of internet, and they want more information, they want
Okay.
lifestyle.
Basically everyone,
Yeah,
right? Because everybody's
basically.
using internet
Yes,
nowadays.
isn't it? And everybody has a browser,
Yeah.
whether you realize it or not.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
So is there going to be happening some activities organized by SalamWeb in Mihas? You know, like programs, informations, activities.
Talks or perhaps-
seminar.
Yeah, we will be having this industry zone, and there will be engagement with users, with media as well. And we will have our booth. We will be showcasing the products, and you can then experience, as I said, through Salam Chat itself. So Salam Chat will be the platform where people can get updates and information on that. So do visit
Yeah.
us at Mihas.
Which is happening on the
From
3rd and
3rd
3rd
to
till 6th
6th.
of April
Yes.
of this year at MyTech Kuala Lumpur. And of course, let's talk about back in regards of the impact of business. Yes, of course, SalamWeb's participation in Mihas, you're going to be expecting a boost in regards of your user base, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But having to be in operations for the last couple of months and everything, do you enter other kinds of forums as well? I mean, to give a bit more impact to your business?
Okay. Yeah, of course, Jihaz as a whole is a big thing, and we are present in not just Mihas, but also in Jihaz entirely, meaning you talk about in the likes of World Halal Conference and in the likes of the other convention conducted by Jakim. Yeah, we are present in all Jihaz as a whole. But we're talking about other platforms. Yes, we do. We do engagement directly with universities. We do other platforms, even some religious platform network talks. So we do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
One thing good
spread.
about Salam browser, like while I was holding the
I just saw
phone,
that you just downloaded
I
it
just
right now.
downloaded it,
Yeah.
and you can see for sure, like content and customs newsfeed from the aggregated from verified news sources, because like the browser will filter away right away the content that is generally seen as inappropriate, red alert, like some pornographic thing. Use it now. The search engine is as well use Google search engine.
Still, yes.
Still.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which is,
we partner, we collaborate.
yeah. So it is for sure fast and not that hard to use.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Easy interface.
It's easy. Yes.
Exactly. All right. So maybe as a final bit, maybe Puan, you would like to share with us how people again can get SalamWeb, and what's your aspiration towards
Okay.
moving forward?
Yes, okay. It's so easy to download the SalamWeb. You just you can either Google SalamWeb or go to https and salamweb.com, and you will see that which download that you want to press. Either you're using Android or iOS or PC or Mac, and you can get it downloaded. It's very fast. It's small in size, so you don't need to worry about your space availability on your phone. Yeah. And yes, if you want to know more about it, try test it, and come and visit us at Mihas
At
2019 from the 3rd to the 6th of April.
Right.
Thank you to Puan Hasni Zarina Muhammad Khan, Managing Director of SalamWeb Technologies Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, and thank you for having
Kita
us.
akan kembali selepas ini untuk kemas kini berita dalam dunia niaga pukul 9 pagi. Where is the love untuk anda?